Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Sergio Ramos wants a transfer to Man United. He has rejected a 2-year contract offer from Real Madrid. Now it recently said that Sergio Ramos's agent will fly to England next week to finalise a 2-year deal, which could be worth around £200,000 a week. Sergio Ramos is going to be available on a 3 in the summer. Sergio Ramos has been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them for 16 years. He's made over 600 appearances in all competitions. And he's won 22 major honours. Real Madrid got him back in 2005 from Sevilla. They paid €27 million. And he would go very, very well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. But if we get Sergio Ramos in, he'll only be short term because he is the age of 34. A new centre-back is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority. There has been quite a few centre-halves on our agenda. And Ed Woodward is going to hand Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a huge war chest to spend big in the summer. Now, I want to give you some news on Upamecano. So, Upamecano to Man United is off by the looks of things. Now, it does say that Chelsea, Liverpool and Bayern Munich are battling it out for him. Now, Upamecano is available for £38 million at the end of this season, because that's when his release clause does become active. He's been at RB Leipzig now a few years. RB Leipzig paid €10 million for him from Red Bull Salzburg. And last year, he signed a new deal with RB Leipzig until 2023. It did say earlier on this season that Bayern Munich were the favourites, and Bayern Munich's CEO confirmed their interest, and Bayern Munich were in advanced talks for the player. Before our game against Liverpool in the FA Cup 4th round, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer urged us to beat Liverpool to the signing of Upamecano, because it said us and Liverpool went head-to-head in the race for the player. Now, does Anthony Martial have a long-term future at Manchester United? Now, for the vast majority of this season, Anthony Martial has been out of form. Obviously, he's had chances, but he hasn't converted them. Martial did well in the 9-0 win against Southampton. He obviously came off the bench and scored twice. Martial was very, very good last season, and he was good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. Martial has been at the football club now over 5 years. He has been subjected to transfer speculation before. Martial can play out wide and he can also play centrally. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. So, will we consider selling Martial in the summer? Will we consider selling him at some point next season or the next couple of seasons. Because I think, Edison Cavani is going to overtake him. Or he already has overtaken him, should I say, because Edison Cavani has made a fantastic impact since he has come in. But this year's summer transfer window is very, very important for Manchester United because we do need to make more signings. I've already given you the 3 areas where Man United need to strengthen up. Solskjaer did say our summer transfer plans could be affected by the coronavirus pandemic. But the board have got to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the summer transfer window. Because I think the transfer windows Solskjaer's enjoyed so far, he hasn't been backed enough. And obviously Woodward has come out several times to support Solskjaer. And he's promised that he will back Solskjaer. Don't forget he did say towards the end of last year that he will back him with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. Solskjaer has enjoyed 4 transfer windows so far as permanent Man United manager. It was a very, very disappointing January transfer window because we only saw one arrival, and that was Amad Diallo Traore. I don't think it'll be too long now till we see him in the first team squad. Amad Diallo Traore has made 2 appearances for the under-23s. We got him in a deal worth £37 million with add-ons included. We paid £19 million up front. But Solskjaer did say a few times during the January transfer window that he wasn't expecting any signings because during the January transfer window we was focusing a lot more on the outgoings rather than the incomings. And to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's credit, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in as Man United manager. But despite the pandemic, I'm expecting us to make some signings in the summer. Also, more players could leave Man United in the summer. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made very, very good progress at Manchester United. We're obviously second in the Premier League. We are 5 points behind Man City. Manchester City do have a game in hand, so it's looking very, very imminent that Manchester City are going to win the Premier League title. A lot of our fans have now disregarded the title. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did make an admission after our 3-3 draw with Everton, and he said we shouldn't be considered as title chasers. But before that admission, he wasn't really mentioning the title race. He was taking one game at a time. I think we'll win another title at some point, maybe next season, maybe next couple of seasons. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for like 8 years. Obviously, we're in the FA Cup quarter-finals. We progressed to the FA Cup quarter-finals for the 7th consecutive year. The FA Cup is a chance of a trophy for us. We are the second most successful team in FA Cup history because we have won 12 FA Cups. And also the Europa League is a chance of a trophy. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. Because we haven't won a trophy since 2017 and the club of our stature need to be winning trophies. This season as well, Solskjaer got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. We did lose that to Man City 2-0. Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season. He got us qualification for the Champions League. He got us third and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. I think performances are improving. I think certain players are improving. We've been very, very good away from home. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. We are unbeaten in our last 18 Premier League away games. We haven't been as good at home as we have been away, but we have won more games at home recently. But all our defeats have come at Old Trafford this season. We was unbeaten in 13 Premier League games in a row until Sheffield United had beaten us. But yeah, I'm Ollie in. I still don't know if he is a long-term manager for Man United, but I think Solskjaer is going to be given at least another season at the football club. This is his second full season at the moment. Like I updated you recently, Man United will wait until the end of the season to begin contract talks with Solskjaer. He says we could offer him a 2-year deal if we get qualification for the Champions League and if we keep pushing for the title. Solskjaer has just 16 months left on his current contract. When Solskjaer got the job permanently back in March 2019, he signed a 3-year contract at Man United. Obviously, we did appoint Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. In his first 3 months, he was the interim manager. Did very, very well as the interim manager, so that's the main explanation why we give him the job permanently. But I think he does deserve a new contract reflecting on the progress he has made. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been criticised a lot as Man United manager because we have endured bad periods under him. I think we deserve credit for sticking with Solskjaer because he could have easily have been sacked as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer's been Man United manager for over 2 years. He's managed over 100 games as Man United manager in all competitions. But reflecting now on he's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he's also learnt quite a bit on the job. I think there's a few things that Solskjaer's got to do at the club. He's obviously got to identify his best 11. He's got to give Donny van der Beek more opportunities. He's also got to get his selections right persistently because in a lot of his games at Man United he has been tactically naive, but there's also been some games where he has showed tactical flexibility. But I have been saying in recent months that, Solskjaer has been in the old Man United back, reflecting on the good performances. We've also come from behind in a lot of games this season, and we used to do that a lot under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, so we have been getting glimpses of the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I do like the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has promoted the youth as well. He's given the young players their chances. He's also brought more young players in. Solskjaer has spent over £200 million since he became Man United manager. He is our 4th permanent manager since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson, and that was Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho, and we're not even really known as a sacking football club. Now, like I said to you recently, Solskjaer has got a decision to make on David De Gea. Because Solskjaer recently warned David De Gea that his place is not secure in the Man United team, but he said no one's place is safe. They've obviously got to earn their place. Obviously, David De Gea made 2 mistakes in our 3-3 draw with Everton. Effectively, David De Gea cost us the game. We obviously squandered a 2-goal lead. We should have beaten Everton. But in the last couple of years, David De Gea has made calamitous mistakes. Obviously, a few years ago, David De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. David De Gea is going to remain our number one for at least this season. This is, David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United, so he has been a long servant. But I think we've got to put Dean Henderson as number one at some point, because I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number one. Dean Henderson has now got that experience behind him, because he did endure 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, and plus Dean Henderson has got a lot of development in him. Obviously, we've got Paul Pogba out with a thigh injury for a few weeks. Solskjaer confirmed that. Paul Pogba is going to be a big miss, because the vast majority of Paul Pogba's performances have been very, very good since he came back from that ankle injury that he had earlier on this season. He was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. Paul Pogba got voted Player of the Month in January, reflects on that fantastic goal he scored against Fulham. We beaten Fulham 2-1 earlier on this season. We've recently held talks with Paul Pogba over his future. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer insists that Paul Pogba's happy at Man United, and Solskjaer suggested that he could sign a new contract. So there is a chance that Paul Pogba will stay at the club potentially past the summer, but there's also a chance as well that he will leave the club in the summer. Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. He's been linked with PSG. There's been narratives of him possibly going back to Juventus. And he's also been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. I think if we are to sell him in the summer, we do want around £75 million. Now, Paul Pogba's brother Matthias, he recently gave us an update on Paul Pogba's future. And he said that he could leave for nothing in 2022. So he's actually advised us to sell Paul Pogba in the summer if we are to get the money, because he said he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. So he's actually saying the exact same thing as Fabrizio Romano, because Fabrizio Romano did say that Paul Pogba's transfer away from Man United is still on the cards not so long ago. And you mentioned that Mino Raiola has been planning a move for Paul Pogba next summer. Now, Mino Raiola made an announcement back in December saying that his client's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig. Earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. So he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. This is his 5th season at the club since he rejoined. He's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. When we have been playing Paul Pogba recently, we have been putting him in more of an advanced role. So there you go. But like I say, it's just good that we are seeing consistency under Solskjaer, because we didn't see consistency for a long time. And I hope he succeeds as Man United manager, because I adore Solskjaer a lot. He is a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Obviously, his most iconic moment as a player was 1999, when he scored late on in the Champions League final to win the club the treble. That's obviously the club's greatest achievement. But don't forget, Mauricio Pochettino was the favourite to take over at Man United. He was the favourite to take over when Solskjaer was under pressure, and he was the favourite to take over after Jose Mourinho got sacked. You know? We recently beat West Ham 1-0 in the FA Cup 5th round. Obviously, the goal came from Scott McTominay in extra time. It was a well-taken goal from Scott McTominay. Good volley, and it was a good flick on by Marcus Rashford to find McTominay. That's 7 goals now for him in all competitions this season. He has enjoyed good games at Man United as McTominay. Like I said, it weren't the best of games against West Ham. You know, we dominated the possession, especially in the first half. We pressed quite well. We did have some chances in the game. Like I said, Mason Greenwood had a shot that was blocked. He impressed me. Martial had a couple of chances. Rashford had a very, very good chance. He was one-on-one with Fabianski. Fabianski produced a fantastic save. And Lindelof had a deflected header that was saved from Fabianski onto the post. West Ham, though, did very, very well defensively. You know, they made some very, very good blocks. But all that matters is we are into the FA Cup quarter-final. We are going to find out tomorrow night who we do play in the quarter-final. We've got a very, very good home record in the FA Cup. The last time we lost at Old Trafford in the FA Cup was back in 2015 to Swansea 2-1. Our next match is West Brom on Sunday in the league. Kicks off at 2 o'clock. It is at the Hawthorns. I'm expecting Man United to win this game against West Brom because obviously we've been very good away from home in the league. And plus West Brom are a very, very poor outfit. I think they could go down this season. West Brom's current manager is Sam Allardyce. I'm expecting him to be sacked at some point because he isn't a good manager. Obviously, West Brom appointed Sam Allardyce earlier on this season to replace Slaven Bilic because obviously West Brom did sack Slaven Bilic. Obviously, the last time we played at the Hawthorns was back in December 2017. We did win that game 2-1. We had a very, very good game at the Hawthorns back in 2013. It was a 5-5 draw. That was actually Ferguson's last game in charge of Man United. And we did beat West Brom earlier on this season 1-0 at Old Trafford. To be honest, we was very, very fortuitous to win that game. I do know a few of West Brom's players. You know, they've obviously got that Grady Diagana. They've got Carlon Grant. They've got Callum Robinson. They've also got Matisse Pereira. They've got that Carnu. They've got Conor Gallagher. They've got Branislav Ivanovic. They've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles, if I pronounce his name correctly. They got him not so long ago from Arsenal. They've got that Dara O'Shea as well. They've got Bartley. They've also got Kieran Gibbs. Sam Johnstone, he's one of their goalkeepers. I think he was actually us at one point, was Sam Johnstone. But yeah, for this game against West Brom, Solskjaer will make changes from the 1-0 win against West Ham recently. And after West Brom, it is Real Sociedad in the Europa League. There's been narratives saying that we're probably going to be playing the first leg against Real Sociedad in Turin due to the travel restrictions in Spain. I think we can win the Europa League. You know, we did win it back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. By the way, you know the news on Donny van de Beek. Obviously, after the game against West Ham, you know, Solskjaer said he disagrees with the criticism of Donny van de Beek and praised his performance against West Ham. He started against West Ham. I thought he struggled though against West Ham. You know, he did have some nice touches in the game and he made some good runs, but couldn't really find pockets of space. And Mark Hughes has recently come out and said that our players don't trust Donny van de Beek. Most of Donny van de Beek's appearances have come from the bench. He seldom starts in the Premier League. He's only started 2 games in the league so far this season, and that was West Ham and Southampton. You know, Solskjaer earlier on this season made an admission saying that Van de Beek is unhappy at the club with his lack of game time, but Solskjaer's promised Donny van de Beek more opportunities at Man United. He is a good player. We got Donny van de Beek in a deal worth £40 million. We paid 35 million up front and there was 5 million in add-ons. Van de Beek's got a contract with the club until 2025. He can play in 3 different roles. You can put him as a box-to-box midfielder. You can put him as a number 10. You can put him out wide. I think his predominant position at Ajax was actually a box-to-box midfielder. ESPN said during the January transfer window that we rejected several loan offers for Donny van de Beek. We was blocking him from leaving in January, but Ronald de Boer actually urged Van de Beek to leave. But he deserves more opportunities. But like I said, Tino, there's players at Man United that are really, really improving. You know, you've got Luke Shaw, that's improving. He's getting forward well. He's getting into good positions. He's putting dangerous crosses into the box. Defensively, he's been superb. He's injury prone though, Luke Shaw. Surprisingly, Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last summer. Alex Telles, I think, has done well in some of the games he's played in. He was very, very good against West Ham recently. Thought he got forward well, put some dangerous crosses into the box, got in good positions and made some good overlapping runs. Alex Telles has played nowhere near as much as I expected him to. I think Eric Bailly has also done very, very well in the games he's played in. You know, he's a much better centre-half than Lindelof, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is too injury-prone. Wan-Bissaka, aspects of his game have improved. He's been getting forward a lot more recently. Didn't get forward a lot, though, against West Ham. Defensively, Wan-Bissaka has always been superb. I think, you know, Fred, he's really, really improving as well. His passing's improving. He's getting forward more. He's breaking up the play well. Marcus Rashford, he's also really, really improving. Probably these still aspects of his game that I've got to improve, because there's been some games where Marcus Rashford, yeah, he's made good runs. He's got him behind well. But there's obviously times when he's getting in front of goal and his finishing's poor, his decision making's poor, and his passing is poor. You know, Mason Greenwood, he's done very, very well recently, but hasn't managed to get his name on the score sheet. You know, Edison Cavani, like I said earlier, he's made a fantastic impact. Bruno Fernandes, you know, he's made the difference in this team. He's our best player and is the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Bruno Fernandes is planning on spending many years at Man United after his 12-month anniversary. In most of his games at Man United, he has been very, very consistent. There's only been a few games where he has looked off the pace. He won Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. It recently said we are 3 months into contract talks with Bruno Fernandes. But it actually recently said that contract talks have stalled. So there you go. Our current squad is good enough to finish at least in the top 4, but probably isn't good enough to win the league as yet. So this is why I said we need to make more signings in the summer. We've probably as well got to start beating some of the top 6 sides in the league if we are to be genuine title contenders, because we have struggled against the top sides in the Premier League this season. Gary Neville says Man United, by the way, will challenge for the Premier League title next year. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.